Many months ago, I met these two and got to know them very well. We spent many hours together getting ready for this day, talking, and if I've ever found two that were suited for each other, these two are. We've gathered here today in the presence of God, these relatives and friends, to witness the uniting of Madison and Bo in marriage. The Bible teaches that marriage is a permanent relationship between one man and one woman, freely and totally committed to each other as companions for life. Marriage was established by God in the beginning of time. It also was sanctioned by Jesus Christ and compared by Paul in the majestic union between Christ and his church. Jesus performed his very first miracle at a wedding feast, turning water into wine. It was a great celebration. This is a great celebration. We're so glad you're here to celebrate with us. When you have joys, they're doubled. When you have trials, they're cut in half. The Word of God says love is patient, love is kind, and it's not jealous. Love does not brag, it's not arrogant, does not act unbecomingly, does not seek its own, it's not easily provoked, does not take into account wrong, does not rejoice in unrighteousness, but rejoices in truth. Love bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. Love never fails. Now faith, hope, and love, these three, but the greatest of these is love. They chose this passage in the Ephesians passage, Ephesians chapter 5. Submit to one another out of reverence for Christ. Wives, submit to your husband as to the Lord. For the husband is the head of the wife, as Christ is head of the church, his body. Now as the church submits to Christ, so also wives should submit to their husbands in everything. Husbands, love your wives just as Christ loved the church and gave himself up for her, to make her holy, cleansing her by the washing and water through the word, and to present her to himself as a radiant church without stain or wrinkle or any other blemish, but holy and blameless. In the same way, husbands ought to love their wives as they love their own body. He who loves his own wife loves himself. After all, no one ever hated his own body, but he feeds and cares for it just as Christ does the church. For we are members of one body. For this reason, a man will leave his father and mother and be united to his wife, and the two will become one flesh. Since these two have made these commitments before God and these witnesses by the authority of God and the laws of this state, I declare Bo and Madison to be husband and wife. What God has joined together, let no man ever separate. You may kiss your bride. Friends, it gives me great pleasure to introduce to you Mr. and Mrs. Bo Bartos.
da da da